evening, everyone. Welcome along to your Rangers Women's Rabble Show on a Monday night, 6:30. We are here to speak about the Rangers Kilmarnock Scottish Cup tie, but before that, I am joined by Alan and Wolf. Alan, how are we?
I'm very happy after a very enjoyable weekend.
Certainly was. Wolf, you've had a really good weekend as well.
I've had a wet weekend. I mean, I was at Broadwood yesterday. Obviously, I was lucky enough to be at Pittodrie. I say lucky enough. The back row of the uncovered bit of the away end at the worst away section in Scotland, because wherever you, as you know, Brian, wherever you stand in that away section, you can't see half the pitch. We were up the back of the uncovered bit because it's the best sight lines in the place. It was windy. I was saying to Alan before you came on, Demi was standing on a seat so she could see, got blown off it. Then about half an hour and it started raining. So, yeah, it was an enjoyable weekend, but a wee bit of a wet one. And then obviously finding out that the women had comfortably got into the quarterfinal of the cup kind of added to it as well. So, but we'll get to that. But as Paul says, new signing, Brian.
Yes, Caliste Brookshire, is that the way you pronounce it, Alan? Caliste Brookshire. New signing, and from what you've seen, what was your thoughts?
Immediately I'm thinking, by God, she's fast. And there's going to be a lot of fullbacks in the SWPL. We'll not be looking forward to coming up against Caliste. She was more than happy to go and take a defender on, more than happy to try and go and commit players and look to get balls into the box. And I think that's what you're always desperate to see from a wide player. Go and take a defender on and look for a teammate in the box. And I think a 2.5 year deal we've gave her. We don't often give out particularly long deals, so there's obviously a big show of faith. And she's only had one club where she's played professional, but she's now an internationalist. So, clearly high hopes for Caliste, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing more of her based on a fairly short cameo yesterday.
Absolutely. I mean, Wolf, you've got potentially Caliste Brookshire one side, you've got Brogan Hay on the other side. That's two quick wingers, isn't it? And then you can throw Mia McCauley in the mix as well. That's some pace down the wings now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I haven't seen Caliste because she only signed in the week and she made her debut yesterday. And as I say, I wasn't actually at the game. I'm hoping that she'll feature against Hibs next week. But she seems to, she seems to have settled in very, very well. And it was brought to my attention by our very own Keith Price, who's always a great supporter of the Women's Pod. One of the reasons that she settled in very well, right? And Keith noticed this and flagged it up to me earlier. And if you look at photographs inside, because I always put photographs of inside the dressing room, right? And the photographs, when they're at Broadwood, they're all in number order. So obviously the goalkeepers go, 1, 12, whatever. And then it's Nick Dock's number 2, and then it goes to Leah Eddy at number 3, all the way up, right? However, for yesterday at Broadwood, right, which is obviously her first game, this is the photo. The photo's not particularly clear, but you can see that it goes 18, 20, 21. Then 2-24. So Nick Dock, as captain, has put herself right beside the new signing in the dressing room, right?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's absolutely brilliant. Say like, Caliste, come here, I'll look after you. You know what I mean? I thought that was, Keith sent that to me about an hour and a half ago because he said, are you on tonight? This is very, very interesting. That to me, it's no wonder that, that they settle in. I mean, remember when Kim G came in, we knew that she was coming because all the players had become friends with her on Instagram because she was at the training camp in Italy. So they obviously, went straight under her wing. Cal's not had that because obviously she's just come in now. So I think that's absolutely brilliant from Nick Dock to do that. You know what I mean? And while we're on where jerseys sit, right? Something else which is completely unrelated to what happened at Broadwood yesterday, right? That was also flagged up in the same message was, although that's what happens at Broadwood, it's not actually number order when they play at Ibrox. And if you pay any attention to what's at the screen underneath, I think Alan's probably seen it, which is why he's sniggering. Obviously at Ibrox, the captain's always under the portrait of the king.
Yes.
Right? That's how the line shuts up at Ibrox. we've got Leah Eddy, we've got Jodie
Jodie
McCleary,
McCleary.
we've got Nick Dock, we've got Kathy Hill. You know, we've got
Me.
all the
And
we've
Laura.
got Mia McCauley and Laura Berry. We've got all the Rangers fans under the king, which I think is a nice little touch. It's a nice little touch. You know what I mean? But as I say, Khalees, I'm very excited to watch her. You know, I mean, she was involved yesterday. She came on for half an hour yesterday. Alan was at the game. He says she's rapid. I'm looking forward to that because a bit of pace against some of the jobbers that we're up against. You know what I mean? I think she'll probably be involved in a number of our goals. I mean, she was involved in the fourth goal yesterday, which we'll get to. You know, just from the very little I've seen in the highlights. But yeah, very, very excited about her.
Good. This is all good, all positive news. It's good to hear. Alan, I'll come to you in this because this is obviously something that you're a forte on more than maybe myself and Wolf. But 3 lone players came back: Sophie Townsley, Sophie Black, and Lily Boyce. What was your initial thoughts when they came back? And is this a case of we need them more than them being out on loan?
I definitely think it can benefit the squad. You know, I thought we'd went too early with loaning players out, given we had quite a small squad. And we've seen in the last few weeks before Christmas, we filled the bench with 15-year-olds. So it was clear the squad depth's an issue. And I feel the 3 girls that have came back have all been playing in SWPL 1 this season. And they're all capable of being part of their squad, I believe. Now, Sophie Townsley played for Hamilton in the Cup, so she was never going to be involved.
Yeah.
Yesterday being cup tied, but I noticed Sophie Black and Lily Boyce were involved at Motherwell, but they weren't involved in the cup game, which made me think that they were probably in line to be coming back. And it was good to see them both straight into the squad yesterday. So Sophie Black on the bench and Lily Boyce straight into the starting team. We've obviously been concerned. There's no sign of Leah Eddy the last few weeks, and there's no sign of Jess Pegram yesterday. So certainly numbers are still very scarce at the back. So thought we'll go on to talking about the game, but as Keith said, you know, Lily Boyce had done a superb game. We might not have been massively tested by Kilmarnock at the back, but Lily Boyce is a young player coming in and making her first competitive appearance for Rangers, and she looks so mature playing there. And she's at the loan spell at Queen's Park last season. She's at the loan spell this season at Motherwell, and they've done her the absolute world of good. And it's something we do, I think, very well on the women's side, is use the loan market very well. I don't think we always look after the loan players as much as we should, but we've definitely managed to utilise it to our advantage. And you see that the development in Ellie Austin and Laura Berry particularly haven't been out on loan before. So there's a clear pathway for these girls to go out, make a name for themselves on loan, then come back and fight for a place in the team.
Absolutely. I mean, Wolf, excuse me, I clear my throat. As Alan's saying, you know, they've been playing SPL 1 football, so it's not like this is like, obviously playing against Kilmarnock's SPL 2. So they have had top-tier experience. So with that in mind, and as obviously with the numbers that are, you know, we've had a dwindling squad for a good while now. Is this just another chance for the young team just to, you know, try and get into this team and, you know, stamp down their position and say, look, I'm here and I'm wanting this position?
Well, as Alan said, the loans were a bit early in the summer window, you know, and I've always got an issue with loaning players to teams at the bottom of the league because, with the greatest respect, when they play for if and when they break through Rangers, they're not going to be battling at the bottom of the league. They're going to be battling at the top of the league. So I would rather a loan players went out to, like, if a Kilmarnock or a Spartans or somebody who's going to be battling at the top of the second tier, because at least they're battling for honours and they know what it's about. But I mean, as Alan said, you know, the players, Ailey and Laura being away last year didn't do them any harm being away at Motherwell. You know what I mean? At least they're getting regular game time. They're getting regular game time against the sort of opposition they're up against here. So to have, Lily and Sophie in that back, they've obviously seen the management team's obviously seen something in. I would expect now that the youngsters that broke in when we were shorter numbers, I'd expect they'll probably go out on loan. But I still think they're a bit young because they're still only 15, I think. You know what I mean? So I don't think they can go out on loan yet. But once they're sort of 16 and signed on or whatever, I would imagine they probably will then be the next choice to go out on loan to wherever it may be, to Hamilton or Motherwell or maybe Kilmarnock, Spartans or whoever. We seem to use it very well and bring them back at the right time because the experience, they do seem to benefit from that. So I don't keep as close an eye on the loan players as Alan does when they're away. I mean, it's only Alan's updates on the women's group podcast that keeps me up to date on what goes on, because they always do a loan review on that. And obviously when we play against teams that they're loaned to, they can't play against us. So I don't even see them then. So from recent history, the fact that we've put players out on loan and they've come back and done so well in Ailey and Laura, it's got to be a good thing, isn't it?
Certainly is. It certainly is. It's with Ailey and Laura being out on loan, it's certainly, you can see the benefit there, Alan. So yeah, it's if, as you say, we seem to do the loans reasonably well when we put them out. They get lots of game time, they get lots of experience. So yeah, all for it. So we're going to the team that started yesterday. Fife and goals with Docherty, Rafferty, Sabaggio, Macaulay, Austin, Berry, Maycroft, Jodie McCleary, Katie Wilkinson, and Lily Boyce getting a start. Alan, how did that lineup look to you?
Probably the biggest talking points were that Jenna was in goals and we didn't give Thelma the game in the cup. As Keith said, I don't think it was only me and Keith that was surprised at that at the game. Lily Boyce going straight into the team, was a nice surprise. Obviously, we've no idea why Jess wasn't involved. The club are usually forthcoming with updates as to why players aren't involved, but as I already mentioned, Leah Eddy's not been seen for a wee while. That always leads to speculation, is she injured or is she maybe angling for a move or that? But hopefully the club will come and tell us why Lou's not playing. But very strong team. Very good to see another start for Maycroft. I think everybody is so excited to see how much May is developing and continue to develop, but also very good to see that we had Caliste on the bench ready to make her debut.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at that starting lineup, 6 of the 11 were homegrown. I mean, that's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it is. I mean, I was the same as Alan when I saw the team. The first thing I sort of said was, "Oh, Jenna's in goal." I didn't really expect that. We didn't expect Thelma to get a start. The rest of it, it's probably stronger than I expected, to be perfectly honest. Because with the greatest respect to Kilmarnock, they are SWPL2, and okay, they're top of it and they're doing well, and you can't underestimate them. But I did think that Leanne would maybe mix up a bit. But as Alan says, it's great to see so many, as you say yourself, Brian, great to see so many of the young players starting. I mean, Lily Boyce coming straight in. That surprised me, but obviously, good to see. I thought maybe one or two of the youngsters that had featured earlier in the kind of league campaign off the bench. I thought, Saucier there. I thought they might have featured, but obviously Leanne's not taking any chances. I mean, this is a cup that we're the holders of, so you don't want to potentially have a banana skin because you underestimate them. So can't really criticise the team at starting. The fact that so many homegrown players has got to be good for us going forward. If for no other reason, and they're all very, very good players. And as we keep saying, we'll have to make this self-sustainable. And if we can give these players a lot of experience, and I'm not wishing any of them out the door, don't get me wrong. But we know we're going to lose some of them. Let's hope we can lose them for a few quid, shall we say.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you're talking about being surprised that maybe some of the younger players didn't get a chance. I think had this came in the middle of a run of games, we might have seen a bit more of an experimental team. I think given that we're off the back of 3 or 4 weeks off,
Yeah.
think it was really important that we got pretty much our first team out there to get ready for next week's game.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, because I've just listened to Leah's interview there when we logged on, and she basically said that nice to get the rustiness out of the way, so yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I mean, Alan, it was very evident, in the early parts of the highlights that Mia was in the mood. She had a lovely little dink past the defender. Went one way, ball went the other. Mia looked right up for it yesterday, right from the start, didn't she?
Oh, definitely. We sometimes talked this season about Mia doing okay, but she can do more. Mia, when she's confident and really up for it like that, that she's going to give defences a torrid time. And she had that chance early where she completely sat the defender down. Was unlucky going for a near post that didn't come to anything, but that intent, was going to pay off sooner or later.
Absolutely, and Wolf, she provided the first goal for Katie Wilkinson. A great run down the left-hand side, left-footed cross, perfect for a striker, and Katie Wilkinson is lapping that up every day of the week, isn't she?
Yeah, that's Wilco just thrives on them. I mean, any half-decent striker is going to score that. And, there's a question in there from, I think it was, who was it? Where are we? From Paul. If I can just find it there. Do you think we need another striker? See if we're putting balls in like that, we really don't need it, because any forward-thinking player is going to score off chances like that with balls like that. I mean, Mia's in the mood, as you say. The balls that she puts in is absolutely exquisite, and she knows when to have a pop at goal, when to cross them in, when to dink in. I mean, yeah, we probably do need another striker, but as I say, if you're making chances like that, anybody that's forward-thinking, I mean, we had 6 different scorers yesterday. I mean, that's you can't say fairer than that. And I know it's lower league opposition we're playing, but still, the goals are getting spread about. They're all different types of goals, And when you're putting balls in like that, anybody at all, I mean, you could stick anybody up front, they'll score off of chances like that. So, to Paul's question, do we think we need another striker? Probably, because if Wilco gets injured, we've got a problem, because we are a wee bit thin on numbers. However, we are expecting Sarah Ewan's back imminently. We hope, because she's still training on, as far as we know. So it's one of them, Alan, isn't it? That if we bring in a striker, then Sarah comes back and hits the ground running, we could be, trying to keep everybody happy, and it's a sort of difficult situation to be in.
It is, but I also think we're saying Achilles Brucha and hopefully getting Brogan and Lizzie back on the park this month. It also frees up Laura Berry to play through the middle. And I think Laura's not had many chances through the middle purely because of circumstance this season. It has meant she's got a lot more game time, but she's had to really support Mia on the wings, because other than that, we're playing fullbacks further forward, which we see Ailey and Fallon are more capable of playing as wingers. But I think hopefully having Brogan and Lizzie close to fitness, hopefully Caliste really hits the ground running like she did, look like she was going to do yesterday. Will give a bit more flex for us to play Laura Berry through the middle. And Laura Berry is already scoring goals from wide, so she can cause even more damage playing through the middle.
Yeah. Brian, while we're talking about strikers and goal scorers, our very own Waterboot, Willie, he's come in, he says he knows nothing about the women's game and he's here to educate himself and support the show. Willie, that's absolutely brilliant. So thank you very much for that. And I'll throw this back at Alan, because he knows the numbers. Because Willie's new around here, we will answer this one for him. Although we're a bit tight for time because there's a cup draw coming up in 10 minutes. Did the ladies team lose all their goal scorers in the summer? The basic answer to that is, with the exception of Katie Wilkinson, yes.
Yes.
Right, Alan?
So I'd said at the start of the season, it worked out. We lost 90 goals at this team in the summer with players leaving. Real Hardy, Kirsty Howitt, particularly massive contributors to our goal scoring. Jane Ross retiring. So massive change in the summer, and we've had a very small squad, rarely filled out a bench this season. and we've kept ourselves at least semi in contention. It's a very, very competitive league, a very compact league at the top, and there's little margin for error. But with that comes the fact that teams are going to take points off each other, which helps us stay in it. So we'll see over the next few weeks just how far we've came. The big game record is something that needs to be improved, but there's very, very near chances for our team to improve on that.
Yeah. I mean, Wolf, Macaulay was the assister for the first goal. She scored a wonderful goal for the second one, capitalising on probably a mistake in the Killie defence after dealing with the attack previous. Mia Macaulay nips in, nicks the ball, probably about 20 yards out, buries it in that bottom far corner.
It was a wee bit better than she nicked it and buried it in the corner, but yeah, I mean, the defender dawdled on the ball. Mia took it off her, sidestepped a couple of defenders and stroked it into the corner. I mean, as I said a minute ago, she knows when to shoot, she knows when to look for a teammate, and that was one that she just looked up and she basically saw the whites of the keeper's eyes and just went, you're not getting this, and just stuck it in the corner. So yeah, just a typical Mia Macaulay goal, just a great finish, and our finishing's getting better and better. Because there was a time not that many moons ago she probably ballooned that. Yeah, she just stroked into the corner, just tremendous. Again, that comes with experience, but yeah, fabulous.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can underestimate how much experience and talent that she's got. I mean, as you have watched her, playing for the youth teams over the years, she's turned into a brilliant footballer, isn't she? As Wolf just said, there was a time where you weren't quite sure what she was going to do. She would miss the target, but I'll tell you what, she's honed her skills, and as Wolf says, she knows when to shoot, she knows when to pass, and she knows when to cross now, doesn't she?
Yeah, listen, she's getting better all the time, and there has been times we've maybe been critical of her this season because she's clearly capable of so much. The potential is massive, and the sniper said earlier on in the comments, I think before we even went live, we will be lucky to hold on to Mia for too long. But we've played 18 games this season, and Mia's been involved in every single one. Like Katie and Jodie, she started 17 out of 18 games and came off the bench in the one that she didn't start. She's became integral to our team, and right from the start of the season, it's been clear that we've been looking to get the wingers more involved. For the last couple of years, when Mia's been playing on the wing, she's had to do a lot of defensive work, playing as a wing back. She's now got the freedom of having a full back behind her and playing as an out-and-out winger, and sometimes being allowed to drift in and have a bit more of a free role, play behind the striker. And she really relishes that sort of pressure and that responsibility. And as I say, the sky is absolutely the limit for me if she keeps her head down and keeps working hard.
Absolutely. Wolf, to round off the scoring in the first half, Quincy Spaggio, I mean, this was from some distance, wasn't it? 25, 30 yards. Goalkeeper didn't stand a chance, did she?
No, she got the ball played through to a Maycroft, and it was a lovely ball from me. I mean, Rangers Twitter said it was 20 yards. I've watched the highlights. It was a bit more like 25. I wouldn't say it's as far as 30, but it certainly was more than 20. But yeah, I mean, great finish. I mean, really, really good finish. And that's what I like. If you don't buy a ticket, you don't win a raffle. So you look up the best option is taking a shot, take a shot, keep it on target. You never know where it's going to end up, and it ends up in the back of the net. So yeah, great. And overall, I mean, as Leanne said in our post-match interview, it was nice. It was all different types of goals, different types of goal scorers. You know what I mean? And it was a terrific goal. There's a lot of players wouldn't have shot from that distance, or would have shot and made it, either go wide or high or whatever. But no, it was a great finish.
Is she starting to settle in now, Alan? I mean, that's a few goals now she's been scoring recently. Do you feel she's starting to settle into life at Rangers?
Yeah, she's becoming quite a familiar feature in the team. That's now nine starts for her. She's scored four goals now, so she spoke about finding it difficult to settle in to start with. A completely new environment. Even adapting to the lingo here. So she spoke also about being grateful for the group and the squad. You know, much like we've touched on, that Nick was placed next to Khalees in the dressing room for her first game. You know, the players have clearly helped her settle in, and she's enjoying herself more and more on the park. You can see that bit more of a gala streak, you know, to take that shot on. Just took the pass from May, turned and hit it, and she struck it really well, really early. And that's probably what's got the keeper out, because it was quite close to the keeper, but you know, the keeper wasn't expecting her to shoot from there. She aligned her two defenders in front of her, and she just got the keeper out.
Yeah, definitely. Wolf, the fourth goal, start of the second half. Good build up from Nick Dock down the left, a 1-2, and then a great cross, and of course Ailey Austin at the back post comes in and has the simplest of tasks and puts the header away.
I think the start of the second half's doing a bit of an injustice. It was about halfway through the second half. Yeah. And obviously just after we'd made a triple substitution, we brought on Lee Mengwen, Camille Lefay, and obviously the new signing, Khalees Brookshire, and they came on, and I've just put it in the order that I think it probably came on for Quinty Sabaggio, Mia McCauley, and Katie Wilkinson. That probably wasn't who they came on for particularly in that order, but that was the three changes that were made. And the reason I flag up the fact the substitution was made is Khalees was involved in this goal. You know, she played the ball to Nick, who put in a fantastic cross, went galloping down the wing, put in a fantastic cross, and Ailey Austin, as she often does, coming in at the back post and heading the past the keeper. I mean, yeah, that for me, if you want to see a typical Ailey Austin goal, that was it. But yeah, great.
She's done that so often though, Wilf, hasn't she? She's just ghosted out at the back post. You know, nobody sort of marks her, nobody picks her up, and she just has the simplest of tasks, either to head the ball in or just, you know, pass it in the goal.
Brian, sorry, Alan, it's not that nobody picks her up, right? It's not luck that she does that.
You know, it wasn't just the sub Khalees that influenced that, but the fact that Lee Mingwen came on and moved to right back, which moved Ailey up and allowed her more freedom to go in and get into the box. You know, we saw the difference that made, where ghosting in at the back post to score the easiest header she'll score. So it's really good to see when the shape changes, or at least the personnel in this shape changes with the subs, that it's making an impact.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. I mean, it's nice that they can effortlessly make a sub, and nothing seems to sort of disrupt anything. There's a couple of tweaks here and there, but in the main, it's pretty seamless, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's the time we don't see not being at the game. You know, I mean, it's great because Alan was there, because obviously all we've got is the highlights, and they don't, you know, obviously they don't show the fact that, you know, they don't even mention the substitutions in the highlights. So you've got to look at the team lines and you know, the times of the substitutions and things like that, to see how it's all happened. And I hadn't realised that, you know, Lee coming on. Obviously, she's come on right back because she's a right back. You know, had pushed Ailey up, because I didn't know how high up Ailey had been playing in the first place. Because from the highlights, look at the first half highlights, it looks like all we're playing is two at the back. It looks like we're just playing with two centre backs, and the rest are all up the park. So you've only got 5 minutes of highlights to that's why it's brilliant to have somebody on the pod every week that's at the game or where up, you know. So, but that's how Ailey scores a lot of her goals, when she does get pushed further up the park, because she doesn't need to worry too much about getting back and doing the sort of defensive stuff. But let's be honest, against a team like Kilmarnock, you're not really defending that much, are you?
No, not at all. And before we get into the next two goals, is the live cup show on the go yet?
They'll do all the blethering first, so don't worry about that. But just for anybody that's interested, the cup draw's coming up. This isn't very clear, but there's the numbers. Number 1 is Aberdeen or Montrose. Number 2 is Armadale, Thistle, Stenhouse, Muir. Number 3, we won't talk about them. Number 4, Dundee United. Number 5 is Glasgow City. Number 6 is Partick Thistle. Number 7 is ourselves. And number 8 is Stirling University or Heart of Midlothian. So That's the teams in the draw. The draw is just getting underway, Brian. I'll keep you posted. You rattle on with goal number 5.
Yes, absolutely. And Alan, perseverance is a virtue, as they say. And Laura Berry persevered this whole game. She tried her heart out the whole game, and eventually she got rewarded. She scored the 5th with, a corner that came out to the middle of the park and then went into the box and got hooked into the sort of area of the penalty box. And Laura was, as all good strikers are, in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, that's it. It's perseverance. To answer Paul's question, the draw's on the Scottish Cup YouTube channel, so I don't think it's on anywhere else. But Laura just stuck at it. She should have scored in the first half. A pull back from Nick. Laura's leaning back. Really has to be hitting the target there, and you could tell. And Lewis Walker said on commentary on the highlights, Laura was cutting a frustrated figure out in the park. Laura Berry's that classic annoyed striker. If you go and win and batter a team 6 or 7-0, Laura Berry's played and not scored, Laura Berry's going to come off the park raging. And I love that for a striker, And as I said earlier, she's playing most of football out wide right now. She's still desperate to be involved and desperate to be getting goals, and she's taking a great deal of delight in assists as well. She's becoming more and more of a team player, but she's desperate to get her name on that score sheet, and you could tell even the way she took that and just smashed it past the keeper. She was not going to be denied getting on the score sheet yesterday. No,
there's one thing, determination, and Laura Berry's got that in bundles, doesn't she? She hates, as Al's just said, she absolutely despises coming off a pitch not scoring.
Paul sums it up here. She's got a great attitude. I mean, that's simple as that. You know what I mean? I mean, she's got an absolutely fantastic attitude, and you want a forward player, a striker, who hates not scoring. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which means they love scoring. You know what I mean? So there you go. First team out of the Heart, Stirling University or Heart of Midlothian. Draw's just started.
Who's that, Wolf?
Yeah, Stirling University or Hearts will play that mob from the East End that play Airdrie.
Ooh.
They're playing Hamilton, they get kicked out of Airdrie.
Sorry, Hamilton, sorry, yeah. Partick Thistle, next out of the Hat. Or the Bowls. We'll play Rangers, so we're away at Partick Thistle.
There we go.
No, that certainly won't be the longest away trip.
No.
Well, put it this way, it won't be for one of us on this panel.
Aye, well, indeed, aye. Glasgow City, just to give you the rest of the draw, are playing Armadale Thistle or Stenhouse Muir, so basically Glasgow City's got a bye.
Yeah.
And the final tie of the round is Aberdeen or Montrose, which is the one I wanted. Because it's closer to me. We'll play Dundee United. So there's a wee local derby there for Montrose. There you go.
There's a local derby wherever way it goes.
Interesting to consider from that point, but two teams that share at Petershill Park, both drawn at home, so every chance of a game might not be on the Sunday. Although obviously Partick Thistle might have players who work on a Saturday, so it maybe has to be the Sunday.
What they might do, as they've done before, one at 12 o'clock and one at 4:10.
There is that option.
Again, depending on the availability of Petershill Park. But see, as long as the kickoff doesn't clash with the men's first team, I don't really care when they play it.
Yeah,
it's Sunday to be played Sunday the 15th of February. 15th of February, the fixtures are due to be played.
Okay.
So, what is the deal as far as the
Rangers versus Hearts at Ibrox, 4:30 kickoff.
Oh well, you know what's going to happen.
You can do with the Partick Thistle Rangers game being a 12 o'clock kickoff. Thank you very much, Mr. Fix Your Computer. That would do me just absolutely dandy. Thank you.
Well, to be fair, Partick Thistle were out the draw first, so they should get preference of the early kickoff, surely.
Yeah, but
you should. But a 12 o'clock kickoff, as well said, would be absolutely magic. It might even swell the crowd and bring more money in for Partick Thistle. So they'd be ridiculously foolish not to be pushing for that.
But you know what's going to happen?
I know what's
going to the clash with the Rangers Hearts game. It's going to clash with the men's game against Hearts because BBC Alba will take it. Anyway, Brian, meanwhile, yesterday at Broadwood, we scored a 6th goal.
Yes, I was just about to say, Alan, this goal, I didn't, when you watch highlights of goals, you think, it's not too bad. I'll tell you what, this goal was something else. 13 passes were involved in this game. 13 passes. I mean, even at the very start of it, I thought, well, this can't be the goal. It can't be where it's starting. We were virtually at a corner. We were right next to the corner flag.
Yeah, we were. Partick had went on that. Partick, too busy thinking about draw. Kilmarnock had went on an attack and pressed us into his corner. And Fallon's played the ball back to Jenna, who's played the ball back out to Fallon. He's still been pressed further into corner, so she passes it along the goal line back to Jenna, who spreads it out to Lily, who's a 1-2 with Lee Wen. Then Lily moves the ball into midfield, goes up Waterbury, knocks it into Kim, knocks it into Aileen and back to Kim, and she just smashes it past the goalkeeper. At the time, we were watching it in the ground and thinking, that's a hell of a goal. That is an absolutely brilliant goal. And then watching it back, you appreciate it as well. The composure, the intensity, and it's one of the things that pleased me most about the overall performance yesterday was there was more intensity in our play than we've probably seen for most of the season. It was more like what we're looking for and what we've been asking for all season. And we saw that with the goal. With 5 goals up, we could just have kept playing the ball around, but there was an intent to go forward with it. There was a determination to go forward with the ball. And I think that helped us make what was an absolutely outstanding team goal.
Yeah, Rolf, I mean, that was a thing of beauty, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a complete surprise to me the way they scored it, because all I had to go on was the tweet from the Rangers women's tweet, and all it said was "wow, just wow," and it was Kim that scored it. Now the last time we did that, she scored direct from a corner at Aberdeen, so I'm expecting a direct from a corner or something from fucking 100 yards, or you know what I mean. And when I watched the highlights today, I thought, okay, that's why it's wow, because there was no indication of it was a team goal. It was just I said to Demi when I saw it, I says, Kim scored another screamer. But it wasn't a screamer as such, but what a goal it was. I mean, the move, as the sniper says, if it's a men's team that scores that, it's all over the news. You'll see it on newsreels all over the place. Sky Sports News would never have it off. It was a fantastic goal. An absolute. I mean, I didn't count the passes. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you did. But I mean, just incredible, absolutely incredible goal. And as Alan says, to be doing that in the last knockings of a game that you're already comfortably ahead in, you know what I mean? It just shows the intensity of the team and the desire to just keep scoring goals.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, when I was watching the highlights of the game earlier on, I was like, "Where's the 6th goal come from?" Because from where we started, as I say, we were in our own left back corner flag, and I thought, "Well, it can't be starting here. It must be someone else." Pass, and I was like, "This must be the goal." I was like, "Holy moly!" And the longer it went, it was just getting more and more impressive. And yeah, I mean, I must admit, I was having kittens when Conley Jackson was passing it between her and Jenna Fife. I don't know what that must have felt like, Alan, live, because even watching the highlights, I was getting nervous watching it then. But a marvellous, it was just a tremendous team goal. And yeah, it's nice to see the player, like even for Conley Jackson, Alan, just have the confidence. She's a young lassie who's not long broke into the first team. Having the confidence just to, take on that passes and be comfortable in that sort of environment. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Brian, you've forgotten that Alan is the chairperson of the Fallon Conley Jackson fan club. So don't expect
I know. I teed it up perfect.
Well, it's already been said, but the whole team played with confidence yesterday. There's a youthful enthusiasm about the team, and I think we just need to make sure we get the right experience around that to really harness that and bring it together. We need to make sure And if you haven't watched it, watch the club's interview post-match with Lily Boyce, and she'll talk about how good it was playing next to the experienced Laura Rafferty and how she's helped her develop her game. So I think we've got a good balance in the team, and if we maybe can make one or two more changes to the squad in January, we're hopefully going to end up January very, very well set for a successful season.
I mean, Alan, looking forward to January, signings wise, do you see any position? Do you see any? How many more signings do you see us and how many more do you envisage us making?
I think we'll probably only make another one signing unless we lose anybody. I think if we lose somebody and have enough time in the window to go and do something, we might. Anybody who goes now, is at least under contract until the summer. So you hope there's at least something. But I think most importantly this month will be getting players back fit again and getting them properly fit so we've got him for the rest of the season. I know if we're looking at bringing in players who seem to be of the calibre of Khalees Brookshire on 2.5-year deals, then hopefully we're looking at other players that we can come in and make part of our future, because we've less than 10 players under contract for next season. We have to be not just mindful of attacking this season, but building for next season also.
Great point. Absolutely great point. Wolf, next week it's Montrose versus Hearts, Hamilton, Aberdeen, Celtic, Motherwell versus Celtic, and Rangers versus Hibs. Rangers Hibs. It's not been a fixture. It's been very kind to us, apart from the cup game where we absolutely annihilated them, but in the league certainly it's been a bit of a problem. How do you see this one going?
First of all, I'll give you a fixture update. Montrose against Hearts is off because the postponed game from yesterday of Aberdeen and Montrose in the Cup's getting played on Sunday. That Montrose Hearts game is now Wednesday the 28th of January. The reason I know that is because my missus was going to go to the game on Sunday. She can't go anymore. She can't go to the rearranged game because she'll be in Porto with me. So yeah, back to serious business. I think we'll beat Hibs. Hibs seem to have fallen off a cliff a little bit. I mean, they lost yesterday, knocked out the cup yesterday by the team that we won't talk about. By the former manager. Yep. So they took a big risk appointing the manager that they did, stepping her up from the assistant. She hasn't started very well, but then again, she started off with a big cup game, I suppose. So, if we can't beat Hibs in their current situation, we don't deserve to go on and win this title. And if we want to win the title, we'll have to be beating teams like Hibs. So it's one of them we tend to struggle against the teams around about us. I think if we beat Hibs, that could put them completely out of the championship picture, because they're falling further and further behind. So I think we should be fairly confident of beating them fairly handily, to be perfectly honest.
Are you willing to put a prediction to that?
Well, I got yesterday's absolutely spot on. I did say last week we'd beat Kilmarnock 6-0, so I'm on a bit of a roll. I'd actually forgotten until Demi said to me, "But Tony, did you not say 6-0?" I said, "I did think I did." So I'll go for Rangers 3, Hibernian 0, because obviously I never put us down to lose a goal. If you're looking for a first goal scorer, I think our new signing will get off the mark, and Miss Brookshire will get the opening goal against Hibernian next week.
Well, 3-0 and Miss Brookshire. Alan?
I'll go 4-1 to us. I think we're due a proper win against Hibs in the league. We're due any win against Hibs in the league, but it'll be a big day for women's football in Scotland to see two stalwarts of the women's game, in the first season as managers go up against each other in such a big game. I think Hibs are probably already out the running for a league title, but Hibs will still have a very big part to play in who wins this league, because as much as Hibs are probably disappointed with the form and more the results than the form, they're still a very, very dangerous team. And unless they have a fire sale this month, they'll continue to be a dangerous team and something a wounded animal probably for the rest of the season. So I think Hibs have a very big part to play in this title race, even though I don't think they're in a position to win it now. But I think we'll win, and it'll be a bit of a statement going and winning a big game against a team that's gave us so many problems in the last 18 months.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go a mixture of the 2 years. I'll go 3-1. I think we'll score 3, but we'll maybe concede 1. I'm with Alan in the sense we might possibly concede 1. So first goal scorer, I'll say, is Mia McCauley.
So. Brian, I don't doubt for a second we'll probably concede 1, but I'll just never sit here and say Rangers will concede a goal because I don't like to be negative, so I'll just stick to 3-0.
We all know that. We all know that.
Wilf used to look up to Mark Lawrenson on his predictions on Match of the Day.
That's true. Younger viewers will not understand that one, but yes, absolutely appreciate that one.
Brian, I don't understand that one, so don't worry about it.
Come on, Wolf, you do so. Everybody knows that one. Yeah, folks, that is us for the women's show this week. We'll obviously be back next week looking over the Rangers versus Hibernian result from the day before. My thanks to Alan and my thanks to Wilf.
Brian, I saved this one earlier on from Phil right at the start of the show. He said he's never paid any attention to the women's game. I don't even know if he's still watching the stream. I hope he is. Phil, if you are, welcome along. And I hope Waterboot's taking quite a lot from this as well, seeing as it's his first foray into women's football. But Phil said he's never paid any attention to the women's game. Are refs any better? In a word, no.
Alan, do you want to take that one?
No, because as we've seen with the Edinburgh City game in League 2 at the weekend, apparently refs are getting above our station and showing red cards to fans now for their abuse. So I'm not going to watch my P's and Q's.
Oh, was it you? I hope, was it?
No, that wasn't me.
Funnily enough, when we heard about that, Demi told me I need to watch what I say at football. I need to calm down, but I don't know where she's coming from. I don't know where she gets that idea from. But to me, that was just a referee trying to be an absolute arsehole, because what can he do? It doesn't do anything. You can't ban he can't ban the fan, although he did get him removed from the ground, I believe. You know what I mean? But I don't. But no, to answer Phil's question, they're not great. However, the game's not blighted by VAR, so at least the decision they make is the decision to go with. The ball goes in the net, the flag doesn't go up, you can actually celebrate it, which is quite nice. Yeah.
That is the refreshing thing when you don't go to a top flight game like Highland League or Lowland League or Junior or the women's game. If a goal's scored and the referee gives it, that is it. You know it's a goal. That is one good thing. But yes, tonight at just in 10-12 minutes time, the member show at 7:30 will be on. I believe it is Martin, Alan, and Stuart. Paul Stewart, I believe it's on tonight. So they will be dissecting that win at Pittodrie yesterday and all other things.
I like how you tell us it's Paul Stewart, but not which one of the 300 Allens it is.
Well, to be quite honest, I'm not sure which Alan it is. That's why I'm just throwing it out there. So I'm just throwing out there it's an Alan. I just don't know which of the 10 million that we have, but yeah, I just
can't wait for the Allen show, which is just all the Allens together. I think.
That'd be mental. That is going to be so funny. But yes, the member show is starting in 10-11 minutes time. We're then back at 9 o'clock with the wrestling as well. So if you want to have a watch along, last hour of Raw will be a watch along. So there you go, folks. Jump on with that. It's vegan Alan. No, I don't think it's vegan Alan.
No, it's absolutely not vegan Alan. It is myself. I'm doing double duties tonight. So.
Oh, you're the double dunter tonight. Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, well, good on you, Alan. Good on you, double dunting. So that is it. So there you go, folks. It's very on Alan. It's on tonight with Paul Stewart and Martin. So there we go. But as I say, thanks to Alan and thanks to Will. Thank you, guys.
Cheers, Brian. Always a pleasure.
Cheers, guys. And cheers to everybody in the comments. You know, I'm glad tonight we got the Mark Lawrenson reference.
Brilliant. I'm still amazed Wolf hasn't got it. I'm really am. Disappointed.
Don't have a clue, guys, honestly.
We'll explain to you. Yeah. Anyway, thanks, folks. Thanks, folks, for joining us. Thanks for all the comments, all the questions. We'll be back next Monday at 6:30. And until then, thanks for joining us, and we'll speak very, very soon.